Wow, I think I'm ready. I think I'm prepared. I'm just so excited. I just rushed in here and set everything up real quick. I got some really, really cool stuff to show you guys. This is a great day. This is a long awaited day. This is a day that's finally come. And I'm gonna show these to you guys. These are the actual black and white books from the printer. And I will open these things and you will get an actual live reaction from me. I hope it's good. I did see they gave us some make readies before. So these are like the make readies. This is actually the printed book, but it's not assembled. So the pages are all just kind of, loose and everything like that. These are the actual books. So in these boxes here, this is it. This is it, baby. So I'm going to show that to you. And like I said, I hope they look great. I hope they look great. I think they're going to look great. Yeah. So this is the big day. This is a long overdue day. I'm very, very excited about this. You guys have been the best. All the support for me, Black and White, Volume 2, Man versus Machine. I am busy, busy, busy. Let me show working on the next story arc. So these are my handwritten notes for the story. Here's a couple doodles that are on my desk. Um, Sometimes I'll write down ideas on these little sheets here. And I got my book. I got my book. I'm actually now committing my ideas to books. So this is the next story arc, you guys. So this is I'm calling it Sins of the Father, Black and White, Sins of the Father. So that's what you guys have to look forward to coming very, very soon. Whole new array of villains. We got a couple more villains to expand the Black and White universe, and it's going to be a doozy. It's going to be a great, great, great story. I can't wait to get further along on that. And once I do, I will let you guys know. But I'm busy working on that, and and we got some closure. We got some freaking closure here. This is gonna be good. This is gonna be good. So well, it's still morning, so this is kind of like a morning hullabaloo. Let me say hi to you guys before I go any further. We get these things in Texas. They're like pollen bombs, and they mess with my allergies, so my throat's a little scratchy. So I'm gonna be drinking a lot of water. So we got Stephen Rockwood drawing. He is drawing right now, black and white. Leg kick one. Hello, Art. What is this? Art CS. That's hard for a dyslexic. I wanted to say SC, but CS. Yo, Art. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Get those doggies rolling. Black and white two. Real? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, you know what? It's not real yet. It's still in these boxes, but I will show those off very, very soon. Let me see. Leg kick one says I'm in Maui right now. Woo! Wow, that's cool. Maui is a beautiful island. Looking forward to it. Very cool. Shared. Yeah, you guys. We got to get some eyes on this. So if you could give a thumbs up, and maybe even if you have time to share this out. Thanks, past Master Dan, for that. The Wrencher Extraordinaire saying hi to everybody. Oh yeah, she is very happy. She is putting all the finishing touches on the fulfillment. She's got this little fulfillment center she's got set up in the front of the house. So the dining room, her office, and then there's a kind of a big entry, and they all connect, and then there's the kitchen here. So she's kind of got this L shape in the house. I have been cleaning up the garage. We've got a big garage, so we just got 1,000 boxes in, mailer boxes for the comics, and we had 2 pallets of them. And I was thinking, oh no, this is going to be problematic because this is the space that I made for the books. But I was able to take them off the pallets and move them to a different part of the garage, so they actually stack better without the pallet, because they're a little smaller than the pallet. So I was able to I worked in a warehouse and for a while at a supermarket. And I also ordered for restaurants. So I would get the inventory in for the week and then I would store it and all that other stuff. So I'm pretty good at figuring out how things can pack nice and neat and make lots of room. So the garage is shaping up. So I got to tear apart two pallets, probably do it this week to make room for the books, the actual books. I want to clarify, these are the books, but what Jostens, who are the printers of black and white, they wanted to make sure I was absolutely happy. So at their own cost, they sent me all the variants, the main book and the variants. So they just wanted to get my okay on everything, just to make sure. They've already printed everything. I guess they just want to make sure that I'm happy, which is very nice. They're very conscientious and they're sweet people. I don't say sweet for most people, but they really are. They're really, really good people. So I'm happy with that. So our original ETA was the books were going to ship the end of this week. So I'm not sure how many days that will take, but this is like the big 2,500 books for volume 2, and then the 1,500 books for the High Octane Adventures. So they should be sending those out by the end of this week, and so that's kind of that. And once again, just to reiterate, these are just because they're cool people. They wanted me to see the book and make sure that I'm absolutely happy before they ship the actual books. I can't imagine if I was to say I don't like the books, what would happen, if they'd have to go back to print or what. But I'm pretty sure, because like I said, I've seen, I forget what they call these, but we used to call these make readies or whatever. They call them something else, but I've already seen the actual printed book itself, not compiled in book format yet. That's what these ones here are. So let's keep saying howdy do. Lone Wolf Sands Club. Glad to know Black and White is finally here. Yeah, you guys have been very, very patient. I do appreciate that. I am older and slower, and I just wanted to make sure that there were no compromises on the book and that it could be the best that it could be while I was working on it. I always strive to get better. So the next book after that, I'm going to keep pushing it and keep trying to make a better product for you guys. So thank you. Let's see, Survive Infinity 0088. Hail Art. No, right back at you. One, I wouldn't have a YouTube show without you. And two, this book wouldn't exist without you. So your belief in me and what I can do is overwhelming. It's overwhelming. I never take it for granted. After 40 years in this industry, I don't take it for granted. I'm having a better time now than I think I ever have in this industry. And it's a lot to do with CG and this fan base that we've created here. And I do say we, it's all of us. So let's see, Marcus Kelligrew. Hail all. Yes. Let's see. Marcus says, it's T-Bear Send. Let me see. Roland says, that background in the food service sounds like a good asset for logistics. Yeah, you got to. Well, I wasn't completely. I had this manager that I worked with as far as ordering food, but it was kind of down. It was kind of down pat. So it was pretty much the same every week, unless there was a new menu item that we had to deal with. But we had 2 refrigerators, so you got to kind of make sure that everything gets, like, the old stuff gets moved to the front and then the new stuff goes to the back. And we had like double-sided, like you could enter in this side of the refrigerator and then you could pull from the other side. So it was pretty organized, but This was a huge operation. I mean, it was massive. So this particular job that I'm talking about was for swap meets and drive-in theaters. So in California, they'd have drive-in theaters, and then that would be at night, drive-in movie theaters, and then you'd play the movie. You'd drive your car in, and you'd have your little speakers, and you'd watch the film. And it was a lot of fun, especially if you were young, because you could make out, in the privacy of your own car. You didn't have to worry about your parents. And but then in the day they had these things called swap meets, and so people would basically sell their wares. Sometimes there'd be brand new stuff like sunglasses. Sometimes there'd be comic book guys that would somehow they would get a hold of the go backs or whatever they were called, like comic books without the covers on them. So like in the old days, retailers like liquor stores, supermarkets, they get the books, but they would be on consignment. Is that what it was called? And whatever they didn't sell, if they ripped the cover off, they could send it back to the publisher and they could get credit for it. But somehow there was this guy that got a hold of these books and he would sell them at the swap meet. And to be honest, I was so desperate just to read anything, especially at a decent price. I kept that guy in business, boy. It was very, very cool. So let me see. Thapa? What? Or is that Thipa? Uh, Art fulfills. I can hear Pam snickering now. Ooh. Coming through in the fulfillment. Pedro's book will be shipped at the same time as volume 2. That's the High Octane Adventures. I don't think they sent me an advanced copy, though. I think these are volume 2, the variants. At least that's what the email said. Yeah, these aren't proofs. This is the actual book. And these right here, these aren't proofs. Proofs are like, don't ever order proofs. If a printer says, here, I'm gonna make up some proofs for you, what they are is they're quick Xerox copies. So they're really high-end Xerox copies. I forget what they call them, digital copies. But they're not printed. It's not what the actual book will look like. This right here, if you're going to do this, get printed versions, pay the extra money, because this is what the book will look like. This is an actual cover. It's just not folded and not formatted. So that's what these are. And I got the interiors for it as well. So where do I have? I don't have them right now anywhere close, the interiors. But yeah, it's printed. So I don't think they call these proofs. They call them something else. I think in the day we would call them make readies. So they're the printed book. They're just not assembled. So let me see. New faces. Pop Cultivation. Black and White series is back, baby. I still have my originals. I have this is number 1 from the ongoing. Look at this. In the day we had Pogs. Black and White Pogs. Pogs were big business, man. Oh, I'm also going through all my old notes and stuff. So these were image. I have a case of these. They're file folders. And so Image printed up a bunch of these for everybody. So I have notes. I have some of my drawings. There's Gray and the bullet. Ooh, I could give this away. This is an early drawing of one of, he'll probably change, but villain. Let me see if I can get a villain that we're going to use for this story. So his name's Lord Fagin. Let me see. What else do I have? I have reference in here. Yeah, there's just a bunch of notes and reference of stuff that I compiled. Inspiration, just all kinds of stuff. So yeah, I'm definitely going deep into the black and white archives to find just all the cool ideas that I mean, the book's been around for 30 years. This is the 30th anniversary. So there's a lot of, I never stopped working on it. Things didn't come out, but I never stopped. So for, I don't know, 25 years or so, I worked on different versions of the book. So there's probably two different versions of the book that exist somewhere. And so some of those ideas are, they were brought into volume two, volume one and volume two, and are definitely going to be into the next story arc, which is Sins of the Father. So all kinds of little nuggets. It's fun just for inspiration. Past Master says brothers were bikers familiar with swaps. Yeah, they were kind of a good time. It was a moment in time for me. I don't know if I would ever want to go back. There's a lot of undesirable people. I'm not saying your brother was, but there's some shady people. Um, Sometimes they would steal things and then sell them at the shows, and it was just kind of weird. We got Tech Zombie. Good afternoon, y'all. Yeah. Hell yeah. Let's see. Roland says publishers only counted the covers as a return, so people could still technically resell the remains. Oh, so they just sent the covers in. I guess it'd be cheaper to, because it'd be lighter. It'd be cheaper to send the covers to the publisher than the interiors. I always thought they sent the interior of the book. So they just ripped the cover off, threw the covers away, and then sent to the publisher the book. But I guess not. Wow, that's pretty interesting. So yeah, so the book was still intact with the exception of the cover. Let's see. AV8R Surge says, "Hey Art, hell chat, or hey chat." Omar Glitch. So looking forward to this book soon. So soon. My wife Pamela is just she's dying to start packing these things up. Yesterday every day she's kind of fine tuning the workspace so she could get things done quicker. She's got all the she's got a print, what do they call it, like a label maker. So she has all the labels. All you guys, your labels are done. So she has all those printed out. Every time there's an update for your address, I send her the update and then she prints out the new version. Like she's ready to go. All we need is the book. Everything, like all the stretch goal stuff is bagged. Everything is ready to go. All the shirts are done. They're in their bags. We got new boxes. They're a little thicker for the t-shirts. Gray and the bullet look clean. Yeah, I didn't want to show it. It's got like a plastic, it's a sleeve on it, so it kind of reflects the light, so it's not going to look great on camera. I remember Pogs. Yeah. Nordic. The Nordic Nerd says, "Hey Art, how many issues was the original black and white run on Image? I have 3 of them. Is that all of them?" There was a 3-issue miniseries in '94. There was 1, 2, and 3, and that was a complete story arc. So that is what I'm kind of taking volume 1 and 2 of the new story arc, and it's loosely based on those 3 issues that you have. So, like I said, I had a bunch of ideas that I had kind of retooled over the years. So some of those ideas are in volume 1 and volume 2, but the new versions are loosely based on 1, 2, and 3 of the '94 version. Issue 2, Man versus Machine, the one that we're waiting for, that thing totally goes off the rails. That is completely different from the original miniseries. And then this one here that I showed earlier, this was number 1 of the ongoing. So a few months later, well, it was actually probably like 6 or 8 months later, I put 3 issues together, completely done, issue 1, 2, and 3, and it was going to be an ongoing. So I wanted to make sure I was 3 months in advance so then I could keep up the schedule because I was going to do this book, believe it or not, as a monthly. And so that was the plan. But only one issue came out because the market had shifted so much in that amount of time between the miniseries and the ongoing. The market was crashing. So I kind of we just couldn't work it out financially. The first issue did okay, but usually the second issue, the numbers are half of what issue one was, and then the third is half of issue two. Sometimes you can build the numbers back up with issue four, but that was a big, big risk. And we just had Amanda. She was just born. And so as a dad, as a provider, I wanted to try to go with something that was a little bit more secure. So I went back to Marvel. I left Image Comics and went back to Marvel for a secure paycheck. And this indie is kind of unsure, and especially with the market shifting, nobody knew how far the market was going to crash. And it's probably good that I did what I did because the market really crashed. The independent, like Image Comics, I mean, look what happened to them. A lot of those guys closed up shop. They either downsized or completely closed shop or sold. Like in the case of Jim Lee, Jim Lee sold to DC Comics. So it was kind of like Image was the best of times. That 90s was the best of times, but then like by the mid 90s, like 96, the market really started shifting for the bad, actually. Um, so that's why issue two, issue three, and the ongoing series never happened, was because it was just financial concerns. And Billy Tucci likes to say, "Hey, you lost faith in the indie market," because she kept going. He kept going with she, but I think she had a bigger market, and the she market was just based on the she brand. It wasn't based on like the Image brand. So I was still kind of under a banner, um, and that banner was kind of losing momentum. I'm trying to pick my words carefully. Shadowhawk Talks. Hail Artie Bear. Looking forward to reading this one soon. Soon. Hail CG. Yes, Hail CG for sure. Roland's got all kinds of good stuff. That's why if you get an old book with a damaged or missing cover, it might be a what is that, illegitimate return. I didn't know that the shops that were selling the book just returned the ripped off cover. I thought they returned the entire book. So there's probably a lot of these books without covers that exist. Because why wouldn't you sell them? You could double dip, right? Just if you had somebody that was into like I don't know, selling, because like swap meet was kind of like the internet of its time. Like you could have collectibles, like swap meets were weird. Like you could get like the worst of the worst, right? Just a bunch of trash. But then you could get like treasures, you could get antiques, you could get like comic books, like collectibles. You get all kinds of stuff there, but you really had to like scavenge. You really had to go through things and have a pretty keen eye, just kind of like going to like a yard sale or something like that. Um, yeah. And you know what? Somebody pointed out, I think it was my wife, she said, if we go to a cashless society, like yard sales and a lot of these things are gonna, like, even like, I don't know how, if swap meets are still a thing, how they're gonna keep going. Like somehow everybody at the swap meet is going to have a card reader or some kind of credit system that they can use. Because if you can't use cash, then that's gonna really hurt those guys' business. Because also, it is going to have to legitimize a lot of those people too, because cash, you can't trace it. You don't even have to claim it if unless it's a certain amount. So this is going to change things like cashless society. I hope there's going to be some pushback because I think cashless society will be the beginning and the end of freedom. Because if it's all sanctioned by the government, then they'll know exactly where you're spending your money and how you're spending your money, and then on your taxes, they'll know all these transactions. Like your privacy is going to be completely a thing of the past. Completely thing of the past. That's my little um, pontificating. When is the closeout? I'm kind of saying just to because I don't really have a date right now, but I'm saying as soon as the fulfillment starts. So as soon as we get our feet steady and we get this system of fulfilling down, then we're going to close out, and then I'm going to launch this book here. So this book. So I'm going to, there's only a handful of these that exist. On eBay, these things are selling for $100 a pop. So this is my art book, Oodles of Doodles and other stuff too. So this will be the next campaign. We're going to go back to print. And I'm going to, as a stretch goal, we're going to see if we can get a new cover, see if we can get a dust jacket, and see if we can add some new pages to it. I've been doing a couple commissions and things. So I have some CG artwork. So I can have a CG section. And also I've been doing a lot of concept stuff for the next black and white story arc. So I can do a preview for Sins of the Father in that book as well. So, but that'll depend on like stretch goals. And if you guys really get behind it and support it, then we can kind of build a new version of Doodles and other stuff too. If not, the book is fantastic as is. It looks great. The printing is fantastic. One good thing about Jostens, who are printing we're with now for the black and white stuff, is they do yearbooks for high schools. And so they're familiar with this format. So this is about the size of a yearbook. So it's coffee table size, and it's hardback. I don't know if you can see it's got UV cover. This thing is beautiful. You can see it better on the back. So the back is flat, but the image is glossy. Let's see. There you go. There you can see it there. Like I said, it's a beautiful looking book. So it'll probably be either the end of this month or it'll be the beginning of the next month. So that'll be April, March, April. Yeah. So I wish I could be more clear, but I just want to make sure that everything is set up and it's doable. I hate to say this, but we're getting a little older, my wife and I, and we can get overwhelmed. So I don't want to overwhelm the process. So once we get into like a system and it feels like old hat, then we'll take on some new stuff. And also, I want to make sure that you guys get your books. You start getting your books. One thing I'm hoping, like we've done with all the other campaigns, that you on your social media you show off the books, and stuff like that. And so that kind of builds excitement. So when we do a closeout, then if there's anybody that hasn't backed or or doesn't even know about the book, then that's great, because this is all guerrilla marketing. So that's great advertising for the closeout. And then the closeout, about the time we're closing out, I'll do a pre-launch, like a sign-up page for the art book, and then we'll get some signups for that, and then we'll launch that probably towards the end of fulfillment on Black and White Volume 2. So we're going to kind of play it by ear and see how things go. So that's a good question. We got Kevin Thompson. Hey, we've come to snuff the rooster. Omer Glitch says, feel free to add any extra niceness to my package. Art and Pam, LOL, just kidding. Do the books come signed? Yes, they will. We signed up all volume one. So all the volume one books are signed. So the first thing that we'll do once we get volume two is we'll sign those. We'll start signing those up. And Pamela just ordered a bunch of bags, so we'll sign those, put those in the bags, and so on and so forth. So, hey, folks, Chris Maycock is in the house. In the house. How do you say that? Slayer? Slick. Slicker 23. I think Slick R 23. I'm sorry if I butchered that. Yeah, got the code name. Yeah, the code name was the ongoing. And so we're going to kind of get into a little bit of the code name stuff in the Sins of Father. So some of that stuff that was going to be in the ongoing will work its way into the new story arc. Like I said, like there's all these ideas. So I'm consolidating and just trying to get the best of all these things and put them into a new story arc. And so one of the things we're going to do for Sins of the Fathers is going to be volume one, volume two. So we're going to break it up the same way we did with the Origin Saga. And but I'm planning on getting a lot of stuff done before we launch. So hopefully we'll be able to fulfill quicker, and we'll be able to get stuff done and to you a lot faster than we did with volume two. And I do apologize for that, but things just kind of work out the way they do. And I'm just glad that you guys were cool with it. For the most part, you're cool with it. What is this? You return the plantation, as McFarlane has put it. Are we still talking about the books, the returnable books on the newsstand? Maybe. Yeah, I work through the chat slow. Hey Phil, what's up, man? Long time no see. Oh yeah, the barter. They will restrict or prohibit barter. That's one thing the government definitely would want to get rid of. They don't want any of us taking care of ourselves or looking after each other. Yeah, so bartering, they've already kind of turned society into more of just like cash rules. So everything pretty much is cash carry, and things like that. I don't think anybody really barters anymore. Although what's kind of cool about even living where we do, which isn't like farms and stuff like that, they're not too far away. I mean, there is some open land and cow pastures and stuff like that, but you can raise some livestock here. So there, like we have a neighbor that has chickens and she brings eggs over and stuff like that. So there is some like neighborly stuff going on, bartering, things like that. But if the government had their way, they would completely get rid of bartering for sure. My doctor's office has gone cashless. I don't like that idea. I am going to offer a complaint. I have a direct line, so I'm going to offer a complaint about it. Not that it will do any good, but that's all I can do at this point. So let's see. Pop cultivation, rummaging through swap meet comics was a lot of fun. Best deals I ever got was Punisher first appearance for a quarter. Yeah, I don't think they're worth anything, but if just for sheer enjoyment, just reading a comic is cool. A lot of flea markets and boot sales do actually use tables or add a card reader to their phone. Yeah, I noticed like comic book comic shows have started doing that too. Even like some comic book artists in Artist Alley have card readers and stuff like that. So it's not unusual to do, but It's just that's all there will be, and they'll have to claim it. So I think you're going to get a lot of those guys are probably going to go away because they're going to have to claim that as income because now there's going to be no way to hide that from the IRS, which is what they want. I think they take too much and they're very irresponsible with the money they do have. I don't think they deserve anything more, but that's just the way I feel about things. Some people feel they can't give enough money to the government. My comic shop gives away those comics that have misprints or damage that they can recoup. They just give the comic without the cover for free instead of just throwing them away. That's a very nice thing to do. Um, Sometimes misprints can be highly collectible. I don't know if a ripped off cover would be a misprint, but sometimes like comics will come with like double covers stapled in. I know that some people think those are cool collectibles. Sometimes there's misprinting, and so people like those as well. It just depends. It just depends on what you're into and what the market like. Collectability is all based on just the individual. So if they think that something is special and it's worthy of collecting, that's what they're going to do. There are people that collect Aurora model kit boxes, because the artwork was so fantastic. Those Universal monsters and all that stuff. So yeah, I yeah, I mean things are going to really change if we go cashless. There's some eateries here in the Woodlands that are cashless, and they didn't advertise in the front of the place. So my wife and I got up, ordered, and I whipped out my cash, and they said your cash isn't good here, and I was genuinely pissed off because I was raised with cash is king, right? Cash is everything, and so I'm just gonna say this jackass is saying that he's not going to accept my cash. I'm like, who the hell are you? You're not going to accept my cash? Card only. So my wife and I, we just left. We left. So there's two restaurants that we like that went cashless, and we don't go there anymore. I just don't. I don't like that idea. And then they try to sell it like I got that email from my doctor's office, and they're like, for your convenience. For my convenience, how inconvenient is a dollar bill? I go to my wallet, I open it, I give you the appropriate amount, and you give me change. How is that inconvenient? It might be more convenient for you, but it's not more convenient for me. It's about the same. Like anybody that's like, oh, whipping out, money is just so inconvenient. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you? That's inconvenient. Uh, Pixel says he loves his oodles. Yeah, you'll have original print run. So those are the ones. If you look them up on eBay, they're going for $90 to $100. Omer says they can already track our money art. Yeah, I know. There is an RF strip in the cache. They can track by satellite. US knows where their money is, LOL. But it's going to be so much easier. I mean, because this will be, I mean, they would have to go out of their way to track the dollar, right? And there's so many, I think it would be a tougher. But if a shop does, they just have a reader, I bet you anything that information that they get from that transaction will go directly to the IRS, right? I think there's going to be a direct route. And so they'll know exactly what you paid, what it was, what time it was, all of this stuff. And the scariest thing is I heard there's going to be expiration date, not on dollars, because they're going to completely get rid of that. So my father, when he passed, I got his coin collection. He was a coin collector. So there's all kinds of rare coins and dollar bills and all kinds of stuff in there. Silver. I know the silver will always be worth money just because of the metal, but all that collectible stuff. So I'm trying to figure out what the hell to do with that. Like, should I cash that in? Is it going to be worth more money when there's no money available? Like, is there going to be like some person that just wants to collect, like, oh, remember when there was actual physical money? Will it be worth more? I don't know. So I'm trying to figure that out right now, because there's got to be like tens of thousands of dollars worth of collectible money there. So so I got to figure out, like, is it better just to cash it in and accept whatever it's worth now, or gamble that once all this stuff happens, which is going to happen, it's happening fast, man. Everything is happening so quick with the government right now that it'll be in my lifetime. Yeah, for sure. Um, I need a classy RT Bear AR-13L. My wife keeps saying we gotta go, we gotta go. It's just there's so many things to do every day that's just it's just not a priority. I have to I put a list down for every morning I get up, I make a list of things that have to be done, and usually by the end of the day there's one or two things that I didn't get to, which then go into the next day, and so on and so forth. So um that's always gets in the bat put to the back burner. Um, Let me see. Roland says sometimes when publishers deliberately overprint books instead of returning them, they would destroy them or use them as counterweights in ships. Really? Um, oh wow. Um, Not guerrilla marketing though. This is guerrilla marketing. Okay, okay. Well, if Jimmy Reyes said you're cool, then I guess you're cool. All right, Jolly Green. I'm saying you're cool now, so you can replace Jimmy and say RT Bear said I'm cool. How about this? RT Bear said I'm cooler. Jimmy Reyes just said you're cool. How about you're freaking awesomely cool? There you go. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Let me see if I can butcher this. Was that Fane Falano Life? Falano Life? I don't know how to say that. Hail all. This is going to be a short stream, but you guys are just making this very, very cool. I always like talking to you. Wizard, the Boredom Time Lord. Art, hey, is there a way to get the figures as add-ons, or do I have to order them separate from the book? I think they're separate from the book right now. I forget why Pamela did it the way she did, but we only have a few of those left, and they are on their way right now from Eric Huffles. I make a point of it. I like to carry cash, so I like leaving tips in cash. I like all that stuff. I hate that little reader that suggests, like, here's your tip amount. I'm like, no, I'll give a tip based on the individual. I'm not going to give you whatever this card reader suggests. Cashless is the first step to communist nation. Social score trash. I'll tell you what it will do is it will get rid of your autonomy. It'll get rid of freedom. So freedom to just use the money, to go, to be untethered. Uh, Cash is freedom. Cash to me is freedom. You get rid of that, then everything is going to be connected to something else. And also, I thought about this. Okay, they're forcing you to use a card, right? Most cards have a fee. So those fuckers, pardon my French, are asking you to use a card that there's a fee attached to. A dollar, there's no fee attached to. The dollar is a dollar, right? So I pay for it, I move on. Well, if I use my card, guess what? Whatever that purchase is whatever the percentage of that card is. So there's the fee and then there's the interest, right? So if your card is 15, 20%, I hear some cards are even higher. Well, that's how much you have to add on to your purchase. So if your purchase was, I don't know, $100, just to make it easy, you just paid $20 more in interest, So Pamela and I, we do use our credit card, but we pay it off every month. And we've had credit cards that we have been with for years cancel us because they're not making any money off of us. Where's the justice? Yeah, we want you to pay your debt. Not really. We want you to be indebted to us. I'm telling you, all this shit is a fucking scam. Also, yes, it it's freedom. Freedom is gone. Freedom is gone. There are some shops around here that do say that they'll cut you a deal actually if you use cash. And also those readers, they double dip. I remember in California there was a small business. We really liked these people. We were friends with them, and they ran a barber shop, right? And so she would always go, please use cash as a friend, right? And so Pamela and I always did. She said because the credit card companies charge them to use the credit card, to accept the credit card, the shop gets dinged. They're accepting the credit card. How's that a service? How do you even justify the shop actually getting dinged to accept somebody's credit, right? Like a credit card, I understand. If you want to make that deal with the bank, right, at 20%, whatever it is, that's between you and the bank. And you have to pay for the card and then you pay a percentage of whatever it is. Like if it's 20% interest, whatever it is, then you pay on every purchase. And then it compounds if you don't pay that off. All right. So you have that. But that's between you and the bank, whoever's using the card in the bank. And it's a service that the bank is providing because what they're doing is they're taking a chance on you. They're extending credit to you. That's why it's called a credit card. You don't have that money. They're extending that credit to you. So they're expecting that you pay that back later, but they're not taking that out of your account or whatever. It's a credit. So I understand a fee there. I don't understand a shop. That's double dipping. That seems like that's illegal. But anyway, man, all of that shit is I don't like any of it. I still think cash is king. I try to use it as much as possible. And also just a pet peeve of mine is the checkout where you can self checkout. F that as well. One, you're putting people out of work, and two, you're doing their work. Those people get paid for that. At a supermarket, they get paid very well. Those checkout people, at least they did when I worked at a supermarket, they get paid very, very well to check your groceries. So now you're doing it and you're paying the same amount. I say there should be a discount. If I'm going to check out my own groceries, they should discount. They should give me an incentive to do it. They don't. And then they go, well, there's less of a line. They can get you can get through the line quicker. Okay. Well, you could alleviate that by having more checkout people, right? You could fix that. But you don't want to fix that because there's no incentive. There's an incentive to break the system, so you have to use the self-checkout. And then right now you're saying it's faster. But you could make the other checkout faster if you wanted to spend money, which you don't want to do. I understand that. It's all about profits. But you should incentivize if somebody uses the checkout, because right now they just say it's faster. It's more convenient, which is a lie. And it's faster maybe now, But what happens when everybody's using self-checkout, right? Is it going to be faster? I mean, how many times you know what? I'd say probably half the time that I've ever used a self-checkout, I have had to call somebody to help me. And it's not just because I'm old, it's because something glitched, something wouldn't scan, all that bullshit. So, how much faster is it going to be if everybody has to kind of like figure out the system and then there's still going to be glitches within the system, right? Something's not going to ring up. There's not going to be a code. Somebody, it fell off or something like that, or the packaging. It's still going to be issues. There's still going to be things that slow it down. But the thing is, now you're going to do it. You're going to ring it out, you're going to ring it up, and you're going to bag your own groceries. And you're going to bag your own groceries. Why? Why are people doing this? I'm sorry if you like to do the self-checkout and do all that stuff, but I like people doing that shit for me. I like people working for me. I do like that. Uh, let's see. That's not how point of sales works. That data just goes to your bank. Then the IRS needs to go to the bank. Yeah, for how long? But also this other stuff with the cashless society, it's going to be government. The government is going to regulate all this stuff, right? It's what's going to happen to your credit card. I mean, if the government, because they issue cash right now. So the government is going to issue these credits, right? So then that information will go directly to the IRS. So if the IRS or if the government is giving you these stupid cards or whatever they are, to be beholden to the federal, to the government, you have your little government, credit card, and you use that. Why wouldn't that information go directly to them? And also remember, like a few years ago, they were saying they were expanding the IRS. Well, now we know why they're expanding the IRS, because they're going to be so much data is going to come their way that they're going to have to go through privacy, freedom, all those things gone, and it will happen quickly, you guys. It's not just about the money, Art. It's about everything attached to your data tracking. Exactly. Social behavior, what you buy, where you buy, social media, everything. It's the perfect spy tool. Like, we don't even need spies anymore. We're spying on ourselves. We're just giving shit away. We're just giving it away free, checking out your own stuff at the supermarket, all that stuff. We're just doing it all ourselves. It's like, screw that. Yeah. See, that's why John Malin and I are simpatico, man. That's why we get along, because the scary part is, like, I try to tell my daughter this stuff, right? New generation. But, there's this whole like, oh, you're an old fart and you don't want to accept new technology. Listen, not all new technology is good technology. You still have to decipher for yourself what is good and what is not. Everything that we're talking about in the chat, that's not good. That's not good at all. This is the ultimate spy tool, getting rid of freedoms. All this other shit that we're fighting about, transgenderism, that's all just white noise. That's just shit to get you preoccupied while they're doing all this other shit behind your back. And before you know it, all your freedom's going to be gone. And you just been fighting about transgenderism or racism, which, I'm sorry, racism is always going to exist. You can't eradicate it. It will always exist. And it comes in all different directions. So screw you. Lobo, what is that? Vicious? Is that? Yeah, vicious. Don't tell me Ethan didn't send you Comicsgate hats, Arthur. Oh, well, I have this hat, and well, he didn't send me. I have to buy them. I thought I did, actually, and I have my Hat Shack Studios hat. Where's that at? I have my own hats. I have my own studio. But yeah, it'd be cool to have one of those hats. Hey, Pedro. Hey, everybody. Hey, Art. What's up? Cash tips are the way. Exactly. Man, I'm way behind in this chat. Yeah, well, that's how they tell you. That's how they tell you it's supposed to be used. I'm not kidding. 2. And we had, God, like 40, $50,000 worth of credit on those cards because we had you Pamela and I had them since we were young, and both of them, boom, gone. They canceled them. I don't I don't want to use their cards at all. I hate all that shit. I think it's credit cards, all this stuff, this credit, it's I'll just say it, it's modern day slavery because they get you overextended to where you're beholden to them. So then they can pretty much guarantee every dime you make will go to them. Because if they extend credit to you and you're overextended, then what else is there? Every dime you make has to go on the credit card. And then after a while, you don't have any cash for anything else. So then that's all you use. You use your credit. You use your credit. And then you get further and further and further behind. The reason I know all this is my parents, God rest their soul, good people, they used a credit card, right? This is decades and decades ago. And I remember my mom and dad having an argument about the card. And my dad had the realization that we're never, ever going to get out from under this debt because it doesn't correlate with the minimum payments. Doesn't it just kind of keeps up with the compound interest, but it doesn't really pay it off. And so if you keep using the card, it becomes a trap that like I said, they just keep extending the credit and you keep making the minimum due. And so after a while, what happens is you just concede to the card, right? Because if you can make that minimum payment, that's all you're concerned with. You're not concerned with paying it off anymore. You're just concerned with your monthly payment. You could have $50,000 in debt, right? But you don't look at that. You just look at the monthly payment and you just keep using it and using it. And think about the credit card company. Now they're like, every dime you make has to go to the card because you're trapped. You can't do it any other way unless you win the lotto or something like that. So these are scams, you guys. These are predatory scams that banks and people that have money prey on people that don't have money. And that's why I think these things are evil. But anyway, what my dad did is he said, you know what we're going to do? He called my wife, his wife, honey. He called my mom honey. He said, honey, we're going to rip these cards up and we're not going to use them anymore because that's a trap. And we're just going to start paying above the minimum due every month. And we're going to slowly pay this thing off. It took them years and years and years to pay that off. But it's the only way to be free. It's freedom. It's the only way to be free. Otherwise, like I said, it is a form of slavery. I mean, you're beholden to a master, is what I mean by that. So, not true slavery, but a type. So, wait, Kirby, we got Edwin the Ace, Volume 3 coming soon. Yeah. Wow, John, good to see you, man. Cash is more fun when I buy shovels, duct tape, and zip ties in a group. Yeah, because you should stock up on that stuff because as soon as you have to use your credit card, they're going to be able to trace that stuff and they're going to go, hey, you know what? This looks awfully suspicious. Maybe we should call the police on this guy. That's another thing. Is like, okay, this is embarrassing, man. This happened to us a couple times since we've moved here, that our card has been declined. And then we ask them, it's like, well, why? Why is this decline? Oh, well, you've never been to this place, or this is suspect, where you're at, what you're buying, or whatever. I use the card. Okay, I like I said, I very rarely use the card. So I remember there was one Christmas, this was years ago, and I went to buy my wife a tennis bracelet, right? And so I get up. I'm so proud that I'm able to get this nice piece of jewelry for my wife. Like, I'm just like excited, right? I'm so prideful. I get up. I spent an hour picking this thing out, talking to the jeweler, everything. And so I go and I use my card. I don't have that kind of money in cash, so I have to use the card, right? It's declined. And then they said, it's because of the amount. You haven't used your card in months, and then all of a sudden there's this amount. This is highly suspect. Well, who the fuck are you to then say what I can and what I can't do? And also, you're kind of treating me like a criminal. You're saying this is suspect? Fuck you. You don't get to judge me like that. My money's good here. You know, when you do that, that's humiliation. You humiliated me in front of somebody. Listen, you assholes, I had more than enough to pay for that bracelet and then some in cash. I just didn't have my cash with me. So I used the credit card like you try to sell for convenience, right? And then you decline it. You don't think the government's going to do stuff like that? Like they're going to like, oh, well, you're giving to this party. You're supplying funds to the truckers. Remember they did that in Canada? They declined their payments. What happens if you guys are supporting, right-wing comic skaters, and the government decides they don't want you to, do that? Well, they can make up a reason, and they can make sure that transaction doesn't happen. Also, like I was saying before, I think I heard expiration date. So whatever that credit that you have with the government, it comes with an expiration date. So like how cash, like you could have cash, like I said, my dad's got all these silver pieces. He's got all this like collectible coins and stuff like that, and dollar bills from the past. I can still use those. I can still go to a store and I can still use those. It would be foolish to, because they're worth more, now. But the thing is, it has no expiration date. What happens when the government decides, you know what I mean? They don't want you to have this cash forever. What happens then? What happened to like just stuffing money into a freaking, mattress, which by the way, in this climate isn't a bad idea. But you can't even be free. You can't even be free that way. It's horrible. Yeah, send me one of your beanies. You have enough of them. Isn't it one size fits all? I have a really big head. Stephen Rockwood says, and when you get plastic sheeting, buy a can of paint along with it for show. Yeah, you don't want to tip off the government that this might be this plastic might be for blood. Wow, Pedro says in Latin America we still have slaves. Shit. Well, I do believe that's why they want the illegals here, the elite. Not that they're completely slaves, but they do work very, very cheap. And they don't have to really worry about medical and all that other stuff. Omer says it's a tattoo barcode on your wrist, art with the number 666. My wife actually said that this morning. We have great conversations, my wife and I. She said like this is biblical if they have a cashless society. I don't like to think of that. I don't like to go that far with it, but oh my gosh, I go to random porn shops just to see if I get advertisements for it on my phone. I'll tell you, sometimes, like, my wife and I will be somewhere and we'll talk about stuff, and then we'll get ads. Like when we go on social media, we'll get ads, pop-ups, and stuff like that. It's fucking crazy. Schemes and scams for sure. Well, you know what? It's the mark of the desolate one. Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, I got a feeling there's a couple Republicans that are taking advantage of the people that come across the border illegally as well. And just that no one says these things. Just always, no one's saying that people can't come here. It's the melting pot. It's all good. We all know people. My parents, my dad came from another country. My On my mom's side, they came from another country uh, to the states. No one's saying that they don't want people from other countries here. No one's saying that. They just want them to be legal. And why wouldn't the government want that? They could be tax paying, you know. I think the reason they don't want that is they don't want to be paying these people benefits. They don't want them part of the system, so they can treat them however they want. It's cheap labor, and to be honest, I think that's exactly why they're doing it. Um, I don't think it's altruistic at all. I mean, why would you open your door to a complete stranger, your house? I'll keep it unlocked. Why would you do that? Why would you have a fence around your property? You have locks on your door on your car. Why then wouldn't you try to defend the country, from people that aren't legal? That's all. Just make it legal. And also, I think you're doing a favor. You're doing a disservice to the people that are here illegal because they don't get to take advantage of the system either, right? So if you come here and you're legal, then you get to take advantage of all the perks that are left in the system, and also you have your integrity. You can go places, you have pride, you can go to these schools, you can get jobs other than just these under the table kind of jobs, things like that. And you can better yourself. Usually that happens second or third generation for a lot of these people, but you could take part of it as well if you're just legal. Um, that's all. Wow, that's pretty crazy. Yeah, yeah. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah. Um, what is this? We were talking about McDonald's once, and suddenly my phone was, yeah, 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 2 blocks away. Yeah, that shit happens. It's real. All right, you guys. I've been teasing this stuff. I've been waiting, making you wait enough. These are the books. These are the books. This is Black and White Volume 2, Man versus Machine. I got my sharp cutting tool here. Let's open these. And like I said earlier, I hope they are great because I would like to be excited. These things, there's a lot of things to make sure that these print and that are as perfect as we can possibly make them. So here we go. All right. Oh, look at this. Tell me this isn't quality packaging right here. Look at this. All right, you guys, here it is. Oh, slippery when wet. I already. No, it fell in my lap. I'm good. I'm good. No dings. No. Oh my gosh. I have to. Oh my gosh. This is so cool. This is the laminate version. They don't usually photograph well on stream, but you can kind of see how the light is reflecting on the foreground stuff, and see the background. It's not, and then you can see it on the logo. You can see it on the figures, and the background in the the foreground. I'm sorry, the foreground. I'm just too damn excited. Oh, wow. And then, like, as it goes up, you can't see it on the background on uh, JC's face, and then watch it on the logo. Look at that. Very cool. And the back is a matte finish, and the spine. So the spine is matte. The main part of the cover is, and then it's got a UV coating. And the cool thing is you can kind of feel it. That's awesome. It's all raised. Ah, this is so cool. Look at this. This is it, you guys. This is a Black and White Volume 2 Man versus Machine. The journey has finally met its destination. Our long haul. I'm gonna give you guys I don't want to crease it. They have like these little like creases. I don't know if you can see them. They put them in the printing. So then when you open the cover, maybe you see it better on the back, that it follows the crease so it doesn't bend your cover. But here's the credit page. There's the first page. Look at that. Let me see something. I'll try to find a page that I've already showed. I think I've already showed these. Look at that. I don't want to pull it open all the way. For some reason, I'm not ready to like do that yet. Oh, look at that. So good. The colors are freaking awesome. This was a major print run. This is quality, you guys. I talked to let me see. Can I show this page? I think I've showed this page. I'm trying to move let me do it this way. Move my fingers. Look at that. So good. I'm going to put a sheet over the last page, but I want to show you the back cover or inside cover. Pedro put this together. You can see black and white in the back there. Home of creativity, Hack Shack Studios, you got it, and rtbear.com. So this is the main cover with the UV, you guys. So the stretch goal for the UV is here. Looks fantastic. Let me, I think these are the variants. So let me open this one, see what's in it. Oh, this is better than Christmas. You know why it's better than Christmas? Because I don't have to pay for it. Well, I still kind of did, but it actually, you guys kind of helped pay for it. All right. Ooh. Ooh. Look at the packaging. Yeah. Jostens doesn't mess around. Let me pull the little sleeve off of it. And these, you guys, I think they just call it all UV. So this is not spot UV. This is all UV. So the whole cover, look, you can see it shine. The whole cover is UV. And the back is the shiny UV as well. And then the spine as well. So this is the Joe Bennett variant. So this is the first work he did after being canceled from Marvel. So Joe's a great guy. He volunteered this cover. I showed it in the green room, in the Comicsgate green room, and Kyle Ritter loved it so much in the pencil form. It wasn't even inked yet. And he said, I need to color this. So this is the three of us. This is Joe breakdowns, and then me finish inks, and then Kyle Ritter on colors. Look at that. So cool. So like I said, you guys, we are going to be closing this campaign down very soon. So if you don't have any of these variants, um, it's probably a good time to get them. So this is the last one. I got a feeling it will be the Kenneth Roquefort cover. Okay, let's do this. Oh, I'm gonna strip away the curtains. Look at this. Okay, here we go. Yeah, always a big fan of Kenneth. So when he agreed to do this cover, I was like, wow. I would love to have the original for this, but he keeps all the originals. So I don't own the original. But look at that. This is the Kenneth Roquefort. So this is all UV as well. So not spot UV. So the whole thing is shiny. So you can kind of see the reflection on there. So, wow, this is so cool. I want to show more. I want to show more. I can't. I can't. Oh, this looks great, man. So, looks like I'm going to be doing an update on the campaign. And as soon as I get out of here, I'm going to have to email the printer and tell them it's a go. Ship those bad boys. Ship those 2,500 of Volume 2, Man vs. Machine, and 1,500 of the High Octane Adventures. So as soon as we get those, you guys, like I said, Pamela's not going to waste any time. She's going full into the fulfillment mode as soon as we get books, and those will start going out. I know her, like, as soon as we get a stack, she's going to go down to the post office. So these things will start coming your way very, very soon, very, very soon. And so, like I said, the plan is to close down the campaign probably the end of this month or early next month. So we want to get Pamela and I want to get the campaign to where the fulfillment is just kind of like it's day to day. It's easy. We know what we have to do. There's no thought work. It's all mechanical. And once we get there, find our comfort zone with that, then I am going to put up. Well, we're going to close down the campaign, Volume 2, and we'll do a closeout stream. And so then after that, well, probably maybe some of this will overlap. We're going to do a pre-launch for Oodles of Doodles and other stuff too. So a second printing for the art book. This book looks fantastic. I can show you. I mean, it looks so good. And here's all the copyrights and the first real piece, the Superman. Yeah, this book came out good. So there's 30 years of artwork compiled in there. There's behind the scenes stuff, sketches, layouts, stuff that's never been published before is in there. So it's going to be good. Oh, no, I did not. That knife is not that sharp. It can barely cut that tape. Beauty, nice, nice, nice. Oh, this is good. Uncle Yee. I love Uncle Yee. All the cast of characters are gonna be in the next story arc as well. And what we're gonna do, like true comic books, there's gonna be plot lines that are gonna be followed through. So, there's stuff like, well, I don't want to spoil, but there's some stuff that happened in Volume 1 and Volume 2 with some of the characters that doesn't really get resolved. So we're going to expand upon that as the universe goes. So, but we're not going to do it like, oh, this is going to be, a story arc unto itself. They're going to be like little dangling plot lines, subplots, like they used to do in comic books. Damn, that looks great. Thank you. Dog-eared by Art Edition, $100. You got to confirm it, Alan. Tech Zombie says, looks really good. This is a long journey, you guys. You do not know how good I feel right now. I mean, I feel like I'm on cloud nine. I feel light as air. This was a long journey. It's a lot of work, but every day was a pleasure, as will the next story arc. And every day I get to spend with you guys is a blessing. So, um, all good, all good, all good. You guys are the best. All right. Snazzy. Nice. Looking good. Mm. Uh, like I said, allergies. Hold on. It has nothing to do that I'm getting choked up right now. What printer did you use? Those colors are crisp. Oh my God. The printer, they were, like I said, I don't usually say this word, but they were sweet. They weren't just kind, they were sweet, sweet people. Very conscientious, hardworking. They wanted the best for me and the best for you guys. Um, the company's called Jostens, and they print yearbooks for high schools. And I do believe it's cool because when I talk to her, name's Jenna Beth, she knows all the professionals. So it's like a family. So she go, like Graham, said something, and then it's like Aaron said something, similar to what you just said, and so I do believe Lepresti uses them, Nolan uses them, Smith uses them. So that's like four of the bros. I use them. So for the six, Billy's got some people that he's loyal to, but I'm not sure if he's used Jostens in the past, but they're really really good. So Tech says I pop in. Let me see. A guy in his room. Nice. Vote for Pedro. Yeah. Pedro probably has more integrity than anybody in his country. Man, it is a beauty. I can't wait to see your book, dude. The make readies, the printed version that I've seen, it's not compiled. Like I said, it's not stapled together, but it looks fantastic. And also, you guys, with the black and white high octane animated adventures book, Pedro's got a sketch section in there. So there's some unseen Pedro art in that book as well. Well, the whole book is unseen, but his sketches and doodles you'll get as a bonus. So there's 2 extra pages that we didn't really even advertise. Cool. Stephen Rockwood says, "Whoa, J-Bot, Mighty Bot Studios, so pretty, a shining star. You're a shining star, no matter who you are, shining bright to see." All right. Hey, is it Shanth? I can never. Shanth. It's not a long A, right? It's a Shanth. I am sorry, man. I am sorry. I am so bad. And Jetty, looking forward to the book art. Well, thank you, thank you. And if you guys don't know, go I want to say Shanth, but I don't think it's like a like an A. It's Shanth or Shanth. I'm sorry, I'm butchering your name, but go. He's got a YouTube channel, and he actually does work on his YouTube channel. I love to watch him paint and do stuff. And he's a good guy. He's a good guy. So go support him. Even though I can't say his name right, I'll butcher this guy too. Feign Low Life. Oh shit, maybe I said it right that time. Feign Low Life. Yeah. See, it takes me time. 45 people in here. Hit the like button. Yeah, you guys. Hit something. Hit it hard. All right. Well, thanks for hanging out. You guys are the best. Uh it's a true 50-50. Yeah. she's got her strengths and weaknesses, and I have my strengths and weaknesses. And I do think we both balance each other out. So it is a good partnership for damn sure. Oh, Kevin, thank you. Exciting times. Looking forward to these. Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. Oh, we have almost 50 now. Let's keep it going. Listen to this man. Uh, d- 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 oh, you guys. I have talked to Pedro, and we do want to do another animated adventures. So I love the way Pedro interprets Black and White, Whitney Sung, and Reed Blackett, and I don't have his take on Uncle Yi yet. So it would be fun to do an Uncle Yi story. What like usually what they do with these like extra books is they tell stories that you weren't able to tell in the main books. But what I want to do with the animated adventures is it's its own universe. Like so we can do things in that don't necessarily have to be continuity. And I think we can have a lot more fun with the animated because of the style. It's not meant to be taken, not that Black and White is a real serious book or anything, but it's not meant to be taken as seriously. And the animated adventures is definitely, even more so of just a fun nonstop adventure. So we don't really, with the high octane, we don't get bogged down, or the animated adventures, we don't get bogged down with like too much of like the real drama of it. It's really just the high points of the action and keep things moving with like a younger audience in mind. A classic comic book. That's also why it's 22 pages, 24 now with the two drawing sketch sections that Pedro's putting together or put together. Um, so it's more of like a classic comic, like 22-page story. It's what do they call it? It's a staple. They call it something else, like Saddle Stitch or something like that. So it's more like a traditional comic with better paper, and it has like a thick. It's like the same kind of paper stock as um, volume two does in volume one. So yeah, we're gonna do that. We'll do another animated adventure for the next campaign. Art you're drawing on these books looks perfect. Pumped to get them. Thank you, man. And you guys will all get a Stephen Rockwood trading card. He's one of the winners of the Black and White fan contest. Do they do slabbing? I don't know. I'm not really that entrenched in the collectible market. So I was thinking about getting some of these books slabbed just for my own collection, just so I have something that's protective and that I can put aside. Um, just I don't even know. Like to me, it's like I'm stashing this stuff away, and I know that once I'm gone, I don't think any of my family members are going to have any kind of care the way I do. I can't see them because I mean I have. Oh, okay, thank you. Champ, champ, like with like a W sound. Champ. I hope I got it right. Hope I got it right. He says nailed it. I'm such a like like when I say Spanish words and stuff, it's always I really over say the a in things. Doug uses Jostens too. Well, good for him. He's so legit, he can't quit. A, a surplus of slabs around. Not of Black and White. There's absolutely none. So I don't know. I don't know, Shifter, if that's where you're going with it. Um, because I don't do slabbing now, but maybe if there's enough of a demand, I don't. Maybe I'll talk to some of the other guys that do it and see if if there's a viable market for it. Oh, thanks, Sacco. Remember Johnny Sacco? Johnny Sacco, giant robot. Thanks for the stream. Hey, my pleasure, Spambot. You guys are the best. Cheers and congratulations. Thanks, Angela Curry. Will excel. Is it too late to back? LOL. I don't know why you're laughing. No, it's not too late to back. The link is in the description. Maybe I should do this real quick, just in case there's some newbies in. And I'll share the campaign real quick. So this is the reason for the season. This is Black and White, Volume 2, Man versus Machine. In a world where law and order is often blurred to gray, justice can only be black and white. So we got 1,596 backers. We're almost at 1,600 backers. That's absolutely fantastic. Thank you, guys. 134, 764. We're almost at 35K. Holy shit. So if we got a couple backers today, we could turn this sucker over to 35. So that would be fantastic. So we got two big monumental things. We got a 16K. So we're 4 backers away from 1,600, I should say, backers, and $135,000 worth of business. So thank you guys so very much. Here is the main cover. And because of the stretch goals, we got UV coating, UV spot coating, I should say. And then we have the Kenneth Roquefort, which I showed you. Some people say Roquefort. I'm telling you guys right now, if there's a way to butcher a name, I will do it. Joe Bennett's easy, but that's not his real name. I can't say his real name. So you guys can still back the variants. And then the High Octane Adventure. This is Pedro and Von Klaus's book. So this thing's absolutely fantastic. It's only $15, and it's a fantastic book. So you can still get volume 1. So this is the second printing. We completely sold out of the first printing of volume 1. So you can get this with the new cover on it. And then we still have a few of the Grey Capullo variants that you can only get at in the Black and White Jam. Let me see if I can find it. The Black and White Jam tier, and that's everything. There it is. The $145 Black and White Jam tier. You can get this variant. And so there was 150 and only 61 claimed. So we might have some of these for the next campaign as well. But once these are gone, you guys, these are gone. And so the artwork, I should pull that down. We're not getting backers for that anymore. And you guys can see, if you're new, you can see all the cool stretch goals that you're going to get. So we didn't close any of the stretch goals down. So the first backer to the backers that we'll get today, you are still going to get all these stretch goals. And I just showed off a bunch of the upgrades that were featured in this. And also, you guys, there were 4 extra pages. So there's an epilogue that was added to the book that is there as well that I didn't talk about. So there's the fan art trading card set if you guys want to know a little bit more details. And if you want to see what the cards look like, go to the updates. So they're all featured in the updates. So yeah, the campaign is still viable, still in demand. So if you guys want to see what it's all about, and if you like what you see, pick up some books. You're not going to have to wait very long to get yours. So that's a perk right now. So the link is in the description, like I said. So yeah. That's why I like you guys. It's freedom. It's freedom, right? We can say what we want. Look into what's in our hearts. Don't get so literal with everything. People are too hung up. Man, even layouts are cool. Thank you. Let's see. We got a new person in. You guys too, please give it a thumbs up. Let's get the algorithms. Let's give them a workout. What's up, Art? Looking forward to this. Yeah, Rick Johnson, you won't have to wait very, very long because it is going to come your way soon. All right, you guys. So it is lunchtime. I'm going to take my funny little honey, which I call her. Oh, hey, hey, stop chewing on the boxes. He loves boxes. Inco, Arrow Inco. Hey, Inco, say hi. Let me see. Let me see. Where is he? Where is he? There he is. There he is. See the boxes? You can see his wet dog marks on him. I'm gonna have to pick those up because those are nice boxes. But yeah, I'm gonna take Pamela out, a celebratory lunch, and then there will be an update in the campaign. So I'll take some pictures, and I gotta send God, just an overwhelming thank you to Jostens for the amazing print run or printing that they've done, and also to thank them because they didn't have to send these to me. They didn't have to do this. They did this just out of the kindness of their heart. So these are the actual books, you guys. The books are in. Let me show you real quick. Here we go. Here's the Joe Bennett cover. This is the book, you guys. This is the book. So let me see. Where is the main book? Oh, I think I put it back in the box. I didn't want to get messed up. I'm such a geek. Oh, no, here it is. I put another one in the box. And this is the main book with the UV spot coating. Oh. You don't know how cool this is to have this in my hands. This is tangible. This is real now. No one can take this away from us. We built this together. We built this, you guys. It's not just me, it's all of you. So without your backing, without the funding, this would never have happened. So I want to thank each and every one of you for giving me this opportunity to make this book, and you will have it before you know it. Awesome. Awesome. You guys, I am so happy right now. Remember, Pontificators tonight. So I don't think we have a topic yet. We always make this stuff up last minute. So just know it's at 8 Eastern Standard Time. And Pontificators, the longest running CG show out there. So I think we've been around since the very beginning. Different cast of characters, but we have been going long and going strong. So check us out tonight. Also, I'm going to be on Graham Nolan's. I might do some drawing on his live stream. I think that's at 6 Eastern Standard Time. I'm not actually sure. I asked him what time, and sadly, his daughter's apartment burned to the ground, and they lost everything. Everything. They would have lost the dog too, but his son-in-law, I guess, came home from work early and got the dog out before the fire consumed the apartment. So I guess it could have been worse, but they lost everything. So he's doing a GoFundMe. Graham Nolan is, for his daughter. And so I don't have the link here. If anybody does, if you could post it real quick, I'll stall for time. But just tune into Graham Nolan's show tonight. And there's going to be some drawing and some auctioning. So we're going to auction some artwork to try to raise more money for his daughter. I don't know what that would be like to have lost everything. California, where we lived in the mountains, kind of high desert, but definitely mountains, a lot of dry brush and stuff. And we have an extra season in California I used to kid, and it's called fire season. So spring, summer, fall, winter, fire. And so what would happen, I forget, it's like September. I forget when it is, like late summer, early fall. winds would pick up. They call them Santa Anas, and they would blow through the mountains where we lived. I mean, they would just cut through. And if there was any kind of spark or whatever, it would set that hill on fire. You've seen stuff like this in the news. Well, it happened to my neighborhood twice, but this last time we were evacuated both times. But this last time, it was taking down houses in the neighborhood, and it burned all the way to my property line in Corona, in California, all the way up to the property line. But we were evacuated, and we were out of the house for, I don't know, a week before they would let us back in. And I think the fire went for a couple days, 2 or 3 days. And so we didn't know if our house was there or not. And we had a little bit of advance notice. So we got all the valuables that couldn't be replaced, photos, some of my artwork, things like that. But we just left with no idea where we were going. We just had to leave. So we were fortunate. My daughter, she was home. She had her car, and her boyfriend was there, and he had his car. So we were able to take 3 cars worth of stuff out of the house and relocate. And we have some friends, good friends that were in the area. So we called them. We didn't know where we could go. The first time we went to a hotel, but there are a lot of hotels that won't take pets. So we had pets. So we didn't want to go through that again. And so we were fortunate. Some friends put us up for the week, and we just listened to the news until they let us back in. So I kind of know firsthand what it's like. And I remember having some major soul searching moments. I just left the house, of our friends, and I just walked down the street, and I just sat on the curb and just broke down. Like, it's everything, everything is gone, your entire existence, your life. I know it's all stuff, and trust me, my wife and I were very, we were very, what is the word? We were happy that it wasn't worse. We were still very thankful that it could have taken more. This is before we knew the house wasn't gone, or was gone. We didn't know. So we just kind of were trying to make our peace with it. If we went back and the house was, I don't know, partially there or not there at all, and just rummaging through, your belongings, what's left. So anyway, some serious stuff. But just know there's a GoFundMe for Graham Nolan's daughter, and that if you have a little bit of extra, throw it their way. And I'm going to try to put something together. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I do think, like Aaron, like the bros are all going to be there to support Graham's daughter. And so we'll be there, and we're going to do an auction. So have that to look forward to tonight. And also, like I said, the professionals, I think, is after that. At least, if it's not, I'm going to have to bow out early so we can do pontificators at 8. So anyways, you guys, thanks again. Thanks for all the support. Thanks for hanging with me. And I'll talk to you very, very soon, like tonight. Take care.